It is open, my friends. Battles have yet to begin. Laughter will be heard in gales and floods, but if not, at least there will be blood. The sorrow and loss may abound. We'll do our best to hold this hallowed ground.
Last time we left everyone off. I'll give a recap of the last 3 episodes for you who are watching. We got back with wonderful Snoz after finishing off Ultian's journey in a wonderful climactic way. And started off on the Messengers of Peace with Snoz looking into and trying to bring a close to that end of the story. They formed a little band of new friends, one of them being an acquaintance from Julian, Nal Simons. Another one being BT.
Simon. Everyone puts an S on the end of that for some reason.
I do. I don't know why. Whoever started that, it's your fault. Probably me, to be honest. A good old portion of BT still around as well. Looking to join in with Schnellsboop. And someone from the Fallen Fists Guild from the Blobshack Marshes. They teamed up to free an old buddy of theirs, Allan, who they know to be part of the strange species of creatures who are apparently behind the existence of the Messengers of Peace. Infiltrating the ambassador's house, finding the cell through some running of heads into wooden beams. They were successful and got Allan out just in the nick of time. Now they find themselves in the shop, Allan's shop. Trying to remember whether or not you're in the cellar or you're not. You're just in the general shop. As Allan starts to pack up some things and says, we have a limited time frame, but you can ask me your questions.
Well, Allan, buddy. Couple of questions. First, how'd you get captured?
I would rather not answer that one if you don't mind.
Well, actually, I think it could be useful information because since we might be up against demon types, it might be good to know.
He's a bit sneaky. A little unpracticed. He caught me inside my cell. Knocked me unconscious. Something nasty.
You coming in kind of soft, JP.
Probably.
Gotcha. Do you know what we're facing here in any kind of specificity?
You're going to have to specify what you mean by that.
So I'm aware that the Messengers of Peace have been infiltrated, potentially started by some sort of demons types, but I don't really know where they're from, besides not here, or specific goals, anything like that. Do you have that knowledge?
In a sort of fashion. Not entirely. I know there are 4 primary names, and people who generally rise themselves up to the point. They're the ones who've figured out how to get around issues of this world. Let's see. Of course, these are the names I knew them by. They may be going by different ones. I wouldn't know. I've been avoiding this whole scene this entire time. What they're doing this time, it's beyond me. He's taking items, shoving them in bags as he's telling you about this. As Minak, he's a little bit of a devious one. He likes to stick in the shadows, but not really in the shadows. You know, that front man who always tells you one thing, but is meaning a different thing. Fools you into things all the time. Again, that's how I used to know him. But old Keith, that's Keith. Call him Keith if you want to piss him off. He's a brute overlord. Likes to be in rule of places. Very, very open about it as well. Usually takes his own little place and then sits there for a bit and then invades other places and dies. But I don't think you have to worry about him. This doesn't feel like him. Birth doesn't feel like a Birch thing either. He's not about peace. Typically hasn't been in the past, at the very least. And Dune, he's not open about things. If there's anyone I would guess this could feel like him. But he usually works behind someone. He's a puppeteer, one who guides the front and sits in the background in the shadows.
And you're saying that in the cycle, BT, am I saying that right? The cycle that happens each time the cycle happens, a different one of these four show up?
Oh, no, they all typically show up.
Oh.
At one time or another.
What do you mean?
The time.
That you...
It's different. We're not always born at the same time. Just depends on if it's one of them. And that's an if. Those are the four that are most likely to be so efficient. But others could do it as well.
And if it was one of those four, what are they trying to do?
And greatly depends on which one.
Well, let's say it's the Dune guy.
He wants to live comfortably. He's a man of luxury. Likes things rich. He's very good at getting what he wants through coercion and control. But never upfront control. He likes to do it from shadowy places.
I see. Interesting. So you're trying to leave. Where are you going?
Anywhere that isn't this continent.
Oh. You don't want to team up?
No. This is my gap year, okay? I'm taking this cycle off.
But what about friendship?
Save it for next time. Fastens up the bag.
Well, fellas, I feel like I'm not asking all the questions. Any ideas?
How do you remember the cycles?
Me? Well, specifically for myself, it is whenever an event happens. Like 36 years ago. That big old pull. Oh, that's right, you all knew. There was, a wave, shall we call it, of energy that pulsed around the entire world. Events like that, when they happen, it brings us to wake. Easy way of saying it would be it awakens us. turns us into what we actually are.
And you have full knowledge of all the cycles.
Yes, come that point. Beforehand, we're just normal mortals like the rest of you. Well, not you.
Would
You
the destruction of Nutra be the event?
Yes. That is the
Yeah,
one.
that makes sense. That was the first part to my question. Second part, can I have these?
Oh, by all means, take them. Interesting little invention. I wouldn't be surprised if they picked up. How do you like them? It's a little dark in here.
Anyway, I was born almost exactly the minute that Nutra fell. So tell us more about that. Why exactly did that work as some sort of a beacon?
Oh, it's not a beacon. It's
Dinner bell more specific, I should say.
I can pick up on the analogy, but I think something a bit more appropriate would be mending. Hang on. He takes a step back and takes a good look at you. Never mind, that wouldn't be a good one either. You're not a magic user, are you?
Not of my own volition, no.
That's a fun sentence. Repairing. Basic same words, but when something breaks and you repair it. That's the closest I can get to an analogy. When that happens, we're repaired. You, if you don't remember anything, either this is your first time back, congratulations, or you're just something that was affected. In which case, that's very unfortunate.
Oh, you don't have to tell me that.
Any other questions?
You had a choice of letting the cycles continue or stopping the cycles altogether. What would you choose?
Me?
Yes.
I would let them continue. Making them stop means it matters what you do in them. Knowing that it's all just going to start over again gives you a chance to live life in a different way.
It's a very
it.
cowardly way to go through life. Asking me.
Exploring every
Seems
option.
repetitive.
Not every time, if you choose it to be.
And who said it?
That would be my choice, though.
Corvus gives I'm forgetting names all of a sudden.
Oh, it's been 3 weeks. It's okay.
Hold on, let me bring up the campaign. Pause. Vaughn's behind. Pause. Snoz boop. Now. Corvus gives now a funny look, then nods.
I'm going to look back at him, and you guys notice that I have been pouring a drink for myself out of my... Oh, what is this item called? Hold on. Let me find it in my
Magic
inventory.
jug.
Yes, it is the alchemy jug.
Yeah, I love that thing.
And you can see this necklace I have. It's glowing the entire time I drink. I'm just like pouring another one out of this and then putting it away. And I'm going to turn to you, Corvus. I'm going to be like, I realized about the time that your accent changed for the 4th time, I think.
Corvus lifts a finger, nods, and goes, "Good on you. Good on you.
Wait, question. Time out. Player knowledge
Mhm.
here. I thought your name was like Iago Tallulah.
Well, yes.
Vaughn decided to be complicated and give his character
Yes,
many names.
multiple names.
So
His name's
Iago is
Corvus,
correct as well.
but his
It's just that
he's also
the
known as
only
Iago.
greeting that he has in his repertoire with a name is that name. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. When he
So-
refers to himself, it's Iago.
Okay. Well, great. Untime out.
Cool.
I'm confused. Iago, I thought your name was Iago. Why is he calling you Corvus?
Sorry, I said Corvus because he said Corvus. Iago is the word that I used just because, even though I don't know that that's the only thing he has in his memory is a greeting with a name, so I said Iago.
Oh.
Inevitably, someone
Sorry,
else will
sorry,
call him
sorry.
Corvus, and then you will all be confused.
Yes.
Yes.
Nice. Al. We just saved your life. Don't you want to get in on friendship and saving the continent? Maybe the entire world. Maybe the universe.
He gets down real low to your level, Schnozboop. It's a little close, smiles and says, "It's all going to start over again anyway, Schnozboop." Pats you on the head. It doesn't matter.
But Al, it might not start over.
While he's getting
If
up, he
with
kind of
Julian,
stops and, "What do you mean it might not start over?" That's ridiculous.
well, what Julian says is true, and I tend to believe the man. There are forces at work here that are specifically trying to make that not happen again.
Yeah.
I don't know what forces you're talking about, but they'll have to get through the 7 first.
I'm pretty sure. Let me see here. Big Ten, back me up on this if you would. There are some primordials who are attempting to stop the cycle. Is that right, Big
Correct.
Ten? Yes.
Correct.
And also,
never
Julian said
succeed.
something about demons. Well, I believe, which is why me being here is very specific and
If-
gratuitous.
If one of them is looking to stop the cycles, that's new to me. They usually try to keep it going. As for the primordials, that's typical. It's not out of the ordinary.
It seems like they have something a little bit more oomph than usual. As I've been told, obviously, this is my first cycle, as far as I know. But based upon those who have seen more other primordials, I believe, this could go down to the wire at best.
Give me a persuasion check.
I don't mind if I do.
Hold on. I think I got something for this. Oh yeah. I give you a tap on the shoulder. Bolstering magic. For 10 minutes, a creature can roll a D3 whenever making an attack roll or ability check. Hold on. Yes. Yeah, a D3. So
Okay,
A
I roll
D6
D6.
Yeah.
Wait. Is it 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6?
Yeah.
yes.
That's typically how I do it.
All right. So that's gonna be 3. Not a very good roll all around. But that's a dirty 20 still.
Okay. Dirty 20.
Hey.
He has started to go back to putting some supplies into another bag. This is his second bag of holding. You see him pull out. Is slowed in the process. I'm gonna need a little more detail on that.
Let's stick around on this continent. Maybe help us out a little bit. I mean,
Problem
we
is
did
they
just
know I'm
pull you
here,
out of some strange dimension where you
Yes.
were locked into a chair.
and I'm paying you
Sorry
back
to
by giving
interrupt
you
you multiple times.
information. That's how
Um,
it works here. Of my
Fine, leave it.
services.
Philemon, buddy. You got anything to
Yeah,
add to
listen.
try to convince Al?
We could light him on fire.
Fun thought. Fun thought.
It's a lot of fun.
Just
Pretty
say
soon,
Tiago's-
yes
start real quick.
speech.
Iago's gonna step back and then say in a perfect Snozboop impression, "Do you believe in friendship?"
Cancun. You see what I say? Do you see what I mean?
I'm confused. This is such a strange group.
That I'll give to you, Al. I'll give you that. But, I mean, we fully believe that these forces are opposed to us. So I don't know if you might just think that we're naive. It's not been the first time that somebody has thought of me that way. But Julian, I'm sure you respect his thoughts, believes the same. We've met with many rulers who agreed. The problem is we don't have specificity about what's going on, and in large part because we're just outside of that arena, which is why having you around would be a massive boon for defeating these elements that are trying to destroy our way of life. And life in general, really.
The question is, what do you have to lose? On one hand, you could not believe us and then go and live your life and then hopefully get put back into the cycle again. Or you stick around for a little bit, and worst case scenario, you die and then get put back into the cycle again. Or you stick around and it works out and you help us. And you won't have to worry about this problem ever again.
Also, you're a conveyor of fancy things. I'm sure these fellas have some fancy things. For the snatching,
both in
in
it
case
for
that
the
wasn't
money.
clear.
You and I
What
both.
side of the fence do you all on? Continuation of the cycles or the end of them?
Oh.
Listen, I get the vague feeling that when
That's why
these
BT's being
opposing
quiet.
forces want to stop the cycles, it's in order to ensure a permanent destruction. So if it's between that and just making them continue, then I'll choose continue. But if there is an option where the cycles don't happen, but no destruction occurs, that is
There's
what I
no
would
reset.
prefer.
It just continues forever.
But, like I said before, during destruction and going back into the cycle, I'll take the cycle.
For me, Al, I admittedly don't have much of a preference. I'm a man of peace, and so that's
He's
what
old
my
as hell.
goal here. So if I die and I don't get another chance at it, well, then that's all right. I don't mind. But I would like to leave my home a little bit more at peace than when I came to it. So that's what I'm shooting for.
I wish to know. This is
Who
not
do you
in,
want to make
out
this
loud.
persuasion?
This is not out loud. I wish to know. I'm watching him, Alan. If his energies change, you know what I mean. Like he's either getting ready to run, flee, or do something different.
For that, I'm actually going to ask for an insight check.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's start the night off.
roll?
Where are we gonna be?
Well,
Well, that's dead down
in
the
the middle.
middle.
I was
Let's see if I have any bonus whatsoever. I don't think I do. Nope,
tantalizing.
no bonus
Sorry.
whatsoever.
10. 10 down the line. The best you can get is from the way his hands like twitch and move is you have it you all have his attention. You definitely know he genuinely is listening and considering what you're all talking about. However, from there, a base 10's not going to get you much.
I haven't studied
Corvus will
demons.
pipe in, but specifically inside Al's head, because he's never heard these words out loud before. What is the beginning, if not the end?
I need this. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a group persuasion check. It's gonna depend on everyone
I've been
here.
talking.
Good lord.
Do you still want me to roll?
Yes.
I haven't been talking because
Um,
I would sway him one way really fast, and I don't want to. He'd become
You
my
know what?
enemy immediately.
You know what? We'll take the silence because you're absolutely right. It is a strategic silence, and we'll adjust the DC from it. It's the best. I think that's the best solution here.
Okay. Oh, I still have that thing, so I guess I'll use that still.
It is within 10 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. Not rolling well today.
Oh, Rice, why didn't I just touch myself with that spell? All right, anyway. If I had a nickel for the amount of times I've had to say that, you know what I mean?
All right. Now, what did you roll?
19,
gracious.
15 on the die.
Nice. Okay.
19, 5 on the die.
What?
Hell yeah.
Well, and the 3 that he gave me.
You're
Yep.
a level 8.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
persuasion 11.
That's
Don't
what
worry
I-
about
that's
it.
What?
Persuasion is plus 11. Hey,
Okay.
Iago got 26, 19 on the die.
This is why PT's being quiet.
Uh-huh. Maybe they would have actually
This
gotten a
campaign might
fail
work
from
out
that.
after
the
all, guys.
Kenku is the most persuasive.
All right. This would have been a 20, but the silence and the strategicness lowers it down to a 15. So you all passed. Give me a week. I'll be in touch. But I do need to disappear for a while. They have my scent and I need to lose it.
All right. Well, that's great to hear, Al. We're headed to the Globshanks Marsh, however you pronounce that.
The Glob Shack. Why are you going to the Glob Shacks?
Well, it feels like that's where the Messengers of Peace situation started. So we're headed that way. Did you have a better idea?
Actually, no, that does. To a degree, it's dangerous, but you need to be able to navigate through safely. Are you trying to find the tribes?
Tribes?
Well, you really are slow on the information.
Yeah, I was trying
It's-
to keep stuff from you, Al.
Ah, I can see that now. It's difficult to fully explain. All of them, actually. They've grown in population, as I checked. They're not from this continent. They're from some other place, traveled over from Aramathus, I believe. Long history that's been lost, but it's something that happened in a previous rendition. I don't know if it happened truly this one, so I don't want to misspeak. But locally, currently, they're blamed for the time frame from when the messengers started, so it does make sense why you would go there to look for more information. Good luck on
Well,
which
great.
one you find.
Well, great. Well, that's another piece of information we didn't have before. Thanks, Al.
I don't know if they're structured that way this time, but it's typically what is found in that area.
Iago, do you have any intel on these here tribes and where they are?
Does Iago recognize them as tribes, or?
Tribe-like behavior, but you never would have referred to them as tribes before.
I gotta remember what.
Question for the
I know it's
demon.
out here.
Yes.
When Allan teleported us here, was this known magic or demon magic?
This was known magic.
Okay. Damn.
He used an arcane spell to teleport you all here.
Okay. No, that's recorded and going into analysis, but I really would have liked demon teleportation.
Why don't I have this written down?
That's a good question.
Why is it in my character sheet? Did I?
Pretty sure I sent you information on what they're called. I just can't remember where I put it. On my end.
Map quickly. Here. Input.
Make sure you check out our merch store
Yes,
and
thank
also
you.
all of our other
Mhm,
streams that
mhm,
we have
mhm,
available
mhm.
on YouTube. Got lots of content up there. You can have hours upon hours of enjoyment.
Back in 1922.
Or you can take
Multiple
it in minute by
campaigns,
minute
one
bites
shots.
if you prefer.
Yeah.
I cannot find it.
Originally
Why
created.
did I not write this down?
Saw Gerrera just coming out every other word.
It's my old man voice.
That's gonna be.
Uh,
You know what? We can find that information later.
yeah.
You do know that the
Um,
common Iridyne terminology for the individuals who live there, they call them the Red Bandits. But your understanding of them
Yeah.
is that they're not really bandits. They just got
Or
that,
red.
Yeah.
or red. They just got that colloquialization because of the events that happened in Lafrink. The fact that they got blamed for it all.
Corvus will then ask, sorry. I gotta think of a voice for this one. Are they the Red Bandits?
I don't know if they are. You'd have to find out yourself. It could be a whole
Corvus
different
looks,
faction.
or switching between the names. Iago looks over at Snoz and shrugs, and then nods.
Okay, well, we'll start there, I suppose. Now, do you have any material add-ons to this here adventure? Anything you might think that would help us to, come out victorious?
Well, going to the Glob Shacks, yes.
Oh,
Turns around, walks over to a section of the store, and pulls off some two basic mundane items that look a little peculiar. BT would know what they are through analysis. Iago, or Corvus, would know what they are because he's wearing one right now. And he comes over and hands Snozboob and Now a gas mask.
oh,
Oh,
very good. Does this require
you.
any upkeep or anything?
Some basic upkeep, yes. You would need to figure out how you're going to replace the filters. I don't have any spares.
Okay, well, you just use them in emergencies. They'll probably last plenty.
No, they won't. Not for what you're facing. You've got maybe a minute of breathing if you find yourself in a cloud. That one should understand what I'm talking about. he says, pointing at
Iago is nodding
Iago.
enthusiastic.
Well, great.
Very
That's a
enthusiastically.
great add-on, Al. Thank you. You know, I just knew that one day we would team up and it would be wonderful. And I think that today is the start of that, and I just am really thankful for it.
I feel it should be prudent for me to mention that I am for the continuation of the cycle. So I will work for that.
Great. Love to hear it. All right. Well, Al, word on the street is you got some places to be. We also have some places to be. So we'll see you in a weekish. Am I right?
Chaos right next to you mutters into your ear. Is this where we set him on fire?
No. We have to wait until he's no longer present.
How are they set him on fire?
That's the trick.
We have to figure that out. Yes,
Alright.
I do have places to be, so I will be in touch with you, Snoz. If there's anything else inside this place you need, feel free to look around, but I've taken everything useful, so as I can tell.
Very good. Will do, old buddy. In that case, Snoz is just going to look around and see what's left.
He is gonna stand there for a moment, look at the shop, sigh, then use another teleport spell and vanish.
Face it. I know it's practically impossible. I just want to say I'm going to try anyhow.
You can't trace everyone. It's just an instantaneous thing.
It doesn't leave any residue of endpoint in the
Not
spellcast.
endpoint. I would say, if anything, you would know the endpoint is a place you've never been.
Good enough.
So, you're not sure where that would be. You can see the residue from where it started, but no endpoint. As far as looking around, if anyone wants to look around, give me an investigation check.
Oh yeah, Iago will do that. Curiosity definitely nagged at
Give
the
it a scan.
Kenku.
Magic awareness.
I'm not scanning for much.
Magical awareness. Great, then give me an investigation check with advantage.
Can I instead, the modifier's the same, so I guess it doesn't matter particularly. May I instead use Arcana, looking for magical items?
So the reason why his would go, Nal's would work for finding magical items is because he's got an actual sense to them being magical items. An Arcana check would be more so to see if something is a magical item, not to actually find any items.
Fair enough.
Yours would be useful for after things have been found.
Okay, 16 on the investigation.
16 on the investigation. How about Iago and Nal?
Iago got an 8.
An 8.
The Kenku apparently also has ADHD and started counting the floorboards.
It's a 17 with a -1.
Woo!
I really needed that advantage because I rolled a 4 on the other die.
Oh no.
I'm going to assume there's no Arctech in this store.
No, this guy's all pure old-fashioned. He is.
Arctech is old-fashioned. What are you talking about?
But it's old-fashioned. It's gone all the way back around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Vintage.
So
Vintage.
old, it's new.
Vintage. So there's not too much. There are some potion ingredients that could be considered rare that you do find. You'd have some awareness of. There's hang on. because he doesn't need them. There are 3 potions of just minor healing lying around too.
Oh.
Just left in one of the shelves. That's pretty cool. Right next to it, Schnozboob, you do find a glove. Just a basic kind of leather glove. That looks interesting. It's got some fun drawings on the back. They're circular and geometric.
The glove of ball catching.
Yeah, it's a baseball glove. It's not. It's more like just a
Oh.
leather driving glove.
I'll look at it, see if it has magical properties.
Go for it. Give me an Arcana check.
18?
18. Those really do look like magical glyphs.
Okay, but I would need that one spell to know what it actually is. So what you're telling me?
Yes. Yeah, you would need to either identify or have a magical awareness, which now you do see Schnozboob just holding this glove, and he's just looking at it curiously, and he sees the same patterns on the back. For you, though, for your information, it doesn't come across as magical.
Just a glove.
Well,
Oh, I don't know. Put it on. I could be wrong. Put it on. If it's a cursed item, I'll cut off the hand. Yeah?
well, he's already wearing gloves, but sure, he'll take one of his gloves off, put that one on.
It's a really nice leather glove. It's very comfortable.
Okay. Well, he'll put his other glove back on. Save that glove for special occasions. To go with a cane, perhaps.
Ooh, fancy.
Yes, indeed. And go ahead and pocket those 3 minor health potions as well.
I think they're just called healing potions, or potion of healing. It's the smallest
Potion
base
of
one.
Healing. I haven't added anything to my stuff in a long time. How do I do it?
Sense of added things in here. Manage inventory, I think.
Where is that?
It's a button right next to the filter, right below your money count. Which you are rich.
I am pretty rich.
You also have a potion of healing.
Filter.
There is. Manage inventory right next to it.
Am I blind?
Might be. Are you on your inventory tab?
Yeah. I'm in the inventory. I see all my stuff. We got all equipment, backpack,
So
handy
you see where your
haversack,
money's listed at the
attunement,
top there?
filters, yeah.
Yeah. Right below it should be a
Filter button.
filter button, and then right next to the filter button is manage inventory.
There's a search bar next to it. Does that count?
Other side.
Other side, to the right of
There's
it.
there's no other side.
Huh.
That is weird. I'm looking
Is
at your
screen
character
wide
sheet.
enough?
Is,
Wow.
yeah,
Is the screen wide enough?
is the
It's
window
the whole screen.
going off of the screen? Maybe try dragging the
You
window
don't see
around
the
a bit.
giant red manage
just-
inventory
do you
right
see-
below gold
I'm just gonna
and
drop
silver?
that picture there just so you can see what I'm seeing.
We need to see
Why
what
do you
you're
guys
seeing.
struggle with the inventory?
Yeah, he's not kidding. It's not there.
I will
That is
refresh though.
bizarre.
See what
Oh,
that
no,
does
folks.
for me. Okay, inventory. Nope.
Why is it
Uh,
not there? All right, you know what? That's a problem we'll have to manage later.
Indeed. So I need to put 3 minor health
Here,
potions in there at some point.
I've got you covered. You already have one in your inventory, so I'm going to increase its quantity to 4.
Sweet.
There you go. You'll have to refresh again for that to reflect on your side.
Okay.
Well, you got that. What are you guys doing?
All right.
You are in a shop. It's
Mhm.
either really, really late or really, really early.
think it's really. I would say it's really early.
I don't think we should be here.
Yeah, I agree. We should leave immediately. Big Ten, what with the ambassador might be looking for Al. So let's start walking, and then we can make a plan as we walk. We can head up towards our place, because that's where it would be normal for us to be walking to. But Iago, headed for the swamps here. Potentially these red bandits. What would you suggest? Best route?
Iago will nod. And then he will say, "In your head, Snoz boot." Snoz boot. Snoz boop. I am a guide who brings people to and from the marshes and through the marshes. I can easily guide you through marshes. You will have to follow my lead because there are many, many, many dangerous, deadly, and horrible things in the marshes. As far as approaching the red bandits, better to let them approach you, but also better to just not. So we'll have to take that one in stride.
Sounds good. First, we got to get there. Best way to get there.
I have a map, right?
Yeah, you've got a general map. You also know that your map needs to be updated on a regular basis, because things do like to move in the marshes.
Oh, yeah. So I have just the most recent one from the last time that I was at the marshes.
Yeah,
Okay.
which would have been probably about a week ago now.
Yeah, so might have some needing to be updated.
It seems like there have been airships in Pallius here. Are there any airships around currently, or a place we would go to see if there were airships around?
There
One
would
just came
be.
in.
One did just come in. One I think you're vaguely familiar with. Oh, well, Nal is definitely familiar with.
I came in on an airship.
Oh, well, maybe they want to drop us off. Any idea where they're headed to next?
Didn't really ask. Let's hurry. Yeah?
Indeed. Snoz
We boot, scoot, and boogie.
Yeah, pumps
Boot,
his little
scooch, and
legs.
boogie. Right, now that you are up early in the morning as well, who wants to roll percentile dice for me?
Oh no, did we go to sleep? Should
Well,
I get
that's-
more rest?
No.
While that's being rolled,
82.
Iago has pulled out a map, and as we are walking, Iago is looking at the map, turning it every which way and that, and then he closes the map up and he says, "In your head, Snoz boop." Well, the quickest and fastest way is this route, dictating a route. However, I overheard you say airship?
Indeed. We take an airship to the swamps and then travel on foot from there, yes?
Interesting. DM, how feasible is that?
So first, correction, 23 days ago. That's how long it's been since you've been to the swamps.
Yes, that
It's
makes
a
sense.
long journey. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
For airship-wise, getting into the swamps? No. There's
But
no
getting to
way.
the swamps.
There's no way you can get through the thick canopy of the older trees that are very tall.
Yeah, I
Getting
figure
to
they
the
could maybe drop us at Drimmond or Aristed.
Drimmond, there's no entrance to the swamps. That is probably the most you would all just kind of cutting in while you're like talking up to the guild, getting through general information. That entrance into the swamps is basically like asking to get eaten by something or get demolished by something. The only way through and in is through the safe passageway in from Ariosted. So you would want to go to Ariosted instead.
So
Okay.
Airship to Ariosted seems like a feasible idea.
Yeah.
From there on, though, we would have to take my routes.
Sounds excellent. Thank you for the input, Iago. Excellent as ever.
Yeah,
What
nods
little
vigorously.
team we got going on.
So BT's trying to figure out this confusion a little bit, but because he's only hearing one side of the story.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, so is now for that one.
So is now, but yeah.
Yeah.
But Iago, is it my understanding you cannot speak unless you've heard it before?
Yes.
And how well do you retain what you've heard?
Have I forgotten something? Iago shrugs.
Okay.
We be walking.
Running.
Leave you walking, running.
Running.
Are we going to the airship port or to the guild hall?
Airship port.
Airship port.
Yeah, airship port. Okay,
Because
so
I have a plan.
heading on up there. Sorry, I'm also doing
When we get up there,
calculations.
yeah, no worries. I'm gonna ask around and see if Captain Sabrea's ship is still docked.
Well, it's still docked. You see it by the time you get up there. That high percentage roll, by the way, was good. You did not randomly run into the ambassador while you were just casually
Excellent
walking
news.
around in hours of the day where no one is awake. To which point, when you make it to the airship area, you do see that the ship is still in port. You also see that there are no major lights on. It's just general area lights and a small patrol of guards walking around and someone standing in the way of the main pathway to go where all the airships are docked currently. As you approach, he kind of gives you a once-over.
Guild business.
That's all well and fine, but guild business has nothing to do with foreign embassies. You're going to have to specify or present papers. What guild business?
Julian didn't give me any paperwork, did he?
No.
This
Well-
is our town. What do you mean?
This is
This
a
is the
town
Three
you
Watchers.
visit.
What?
Uh,
No, this is our
I
founding
know.
town.
I know.
We built
but
it. We built this city.
We built this city.
On rock and roll.
So Snoz Boop will say, I have it just here. And puts his hand into his jacket, pulls out his hand as if he's confused, and he said, one moment, I must have dropped it. Runs back around the corner and attempts to forge a paper that says that Julian is sending them here on official business.
Okay,
so
so this
glad
is
I'm
a
not the one
very
playing this character.
In the
difficult
meantime-
role.
In the meantime, I'm going to incite this guard.
And I'm gonna, do you believe in friendship? To myself.
Okay, just giving you a heads up here, Schnozboot.
Uh-huh.
This is an incredibly high DC for a few
Mhm.
reasons.
Sure.
First off, you're trying to imitate Julian's handwriting. That's decent, not too bad. But getting his signature and then somehow manufacturing the guild seal, which only he has a stamp of, and you definitely don't have. And getting that sorted is going to really make it difficult. I'm not saying it's impossible. You can do it, but it's going to be a very high. It needs to be high.
So let me just say a couple of things here. First off, I'm not going to try to mimic his signature, not his signature, the verbiage. I'm going to do it as if it was like a default form he just signed off on,
Okay.
rather than him writing the whole thing. So I'm only going to try to duplicate his signature. I'm not going to try to put a seal on it, and I'll try to bluff my way the rest of the way.
Yago watches Snoz Boop run off and around the corner, then looks at Now, then looks over at BT, then looks back at where Snoz Boop ran off to, and then looks at the guard and just shrugs.
What was your insight check now?
21.
21. Just from the general presence, it's not a guard you saw on your way off or out of this dockyard area. This is a new guy. He, if anything, is just a little exacerbated and tired of having to deal with people who just expect to be granted places in an official area. That's apparently, from your insight, it's probably been happening a lot. And it's close to the end of his shift, probably. He looks tired.
How are you doing, buddy?
Oh, you're talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
Good, I suppose.
Towards the end of your shift, huh?
Gives you a quizzical look. Wait, yeah?
How often you just standing around waiting for somebody to find some paperwork that they lost?
Far more frequently than you'd expect. Some of these dignitaries need better hands.
Honestly, I fully agree with you. I mean, I'm the muscle, if you couldn't tell by the look of the group behind me.
It's
So,
fairly obvious.
I get what you mean. I've been standing around quite a few times since I got with these guys, just waiting for something to happen or someone to get some paperwork or anything like that.
Wait. It's like they don't respect our time at all.
No, honestly. I mean, they're paying us. I mean, thank God. Thank the gods. But
Not much.
not enough. Not enough.
Nowhere near enough. Not to deal with this nonsense. I thought the night shift would be better. It's not.
Oh no, night shift is always worse. As I say this, I think I've still got something left. Hold on. Let me make sure. Hold on. Because I do have an airing of message. How many? Oh, I've got plenty. I'm going to message Snozboop, and I'm going to say, I'm distracting the guard. Stop doing whatever it is that you're doing because it's not going to work. Just get past these guys and go talk to the captain. Tell her that Julius will pay her to drop us off.
So I'm going to write that. I'm going to take that into account with what I'm writing, that the paperwork just says, I officially get to go talk to the captain, signed Julian. That's what's no stamp because it's not really official to do anything besides just talk to a guy who's just behind you. So I finished that up. Would you like me to do some sort of
sleight of hand roll?
Sleight of hand with the friendship. Okay, that is not a good roll either.
This is gonna start great.
22.
22.
You get arrested in our own town.
22. Okay. You.
All right. So I believe we're supposed to be talking to a captain of this area.
Says you run back up, and he gives now an exacerbated look, rolls his eyes a little, takes the paper, holds it, and looks like. Thought you said this was guild business. There's no guild seal.
Right, it is guild business. It was last minute. Julian didn't have the seal. He just said I would be able to talk to the captain, and then the captain would be able to allow us through.
I am staring daggers into the side of Snozboop's head, knowing fully well that he can go invisible and just sneak past these fucking people. Sorry.
Language.
Folks at home,
Language.
sorry. You'll bleep that out later.
No, I won't. I'm too lazy.
That's what I'm doing in the next few seconds.
Wise.
At this point, I need a persuasion check. All things taken into consideration. I have a
Just
DC
raw,
right.
no advantage.
There's no advantage here. This is just raw.
Shit.
That's a natty 20 on the ooh-woo.
Oh,
Oh!
Ah,
we get
yes.
so close to something wild happening and you roll an ooh-woo.
That's,
Alright.
to be clear, it's a 31. Just for
Good
clarity.
lord.
He takes a look,
Oh, you're welcome.
just sighs. You know what? I'm not going to question it much further. If you can talk to the captain at this hour, good luck. Hands you the paperwork back. Just next
Thank
time,
you so much.
just if it doesn't have a seal, it's not guild business.
I will keep that in mind, good sir. All right, appreciate it.
I'm gonna let all of them walk past, and then I'm gonna flip them one gold piece as I walk past with a wink and a shrug.
Fumbles and catches it, and then as you're maybe about 10 paces past him, he gets over the shock that it's a gold piece, turns and says, "How much are they paying you?"
Not enough, my friend. Not enough.
Only about 10,000 platinum a week.
What?
He's in the wrong business.
That man quit his job, joined a guild, and got killed a week later. Anyway,
Exactly.
Yay!
Yay!
Red shirts are us.
as you walk past this man, getting through the checkpoint, good job. It's like a door, difficult to get through. You approach the I can't remember, I think it was called the Willow. But you approach the ship with intent of talking to Captain Sobre, and we'll see you all next week for that as we take our first little breaksies.
Oh
See you
yeah.
then, C's.
The end may have closed for now. We hope you met a friend this go around. Tired and blurry you may be. We hope your minds are full from this revelry. Repeat